honestly speaking, what also helped was me doing surveys while I ran the business. One, and I'm gonna say this on camera too, you should never, ever, ever learn something from somebody who's still not doing it.
What do you mean?
Like, so I wouldn't recommend learning surveys from me if I'm not doing surveys anymore.
Yeah.
So Andy says that all the time too, and I don't agree.
You don't think so?
No.
Why not?
His biggest thing is, we still run the cleaning business, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but if I didn't, I had 6-7 years in the business. I know the business still.
But businesses change.
Businesses
Markets
do change. I agree, but that doesn't mean I don't got the knowledge.
That's true, but
we have that discussion.
All right, so let me
time,
ask you this. All right, no, that's a good point. Let me ask you this. You got 10 years in experience. 10 years experience in the cleaning. But your last year of experience is 10 years ago. Would you hire me?
Probably not.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Oh, that was it?
Listen, we live.
He said that.
This is fine. Leave this in. We don't edit nothing out, guys.
Right.
This is how we do our podcast.
That's good.
Here we go. Officially, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the More Than a Side Hustle podcast, where we help 9-to-5ers create more impact, income, and influence outside their jobs. And hopefully today's no different. My name is Anthony.
And I'm Janoka. And thank you for returning every week. Every Tuesday, we drop a podcast. Make sure you're subscribing, sharing, letting people know what we're doing and talking about.
Yeah, so today we have a very special guest, one of our good friends. We did this. Actually, this goes back well over a decade, back to University of Albany, and I'm sure Seth, a.k.a. the Survey Plug, is going to drop tons of gems today. But before we get started, I want people to realize why they're watching this episode. So I'm going to ask you this question. How much money have your students made doing paid surveys today?
Well over $300,000 in a year.
Well
In a
over
year.
300,000.
Wow.
So obviously we're going to be talking
that.
about doing paid surveys. And by the end of this episode, I want you guys to come back and watch and be like, you know what, Seth, Anthony, Janoka, I made this much money doing paid surveys. So Seth, thank you for being here.
Thank you. No, thank you for having me. I've been thinking about this all week, so I'm excited about this.
We're excited to have you, man. So tell us a little bit about your story, man. What made you, what is the Survey Plug and how did you become that?
Okay. Well, first off, again, thank you guys for having me here. Really appreciate that. And second, which ties into my story and how I got here, knowing you guys. One, I don't think anybody has come on this podcast and give you guys flowers. So I want to give you guys flowers for being the example. Not any
Appreciate
milestones, not any sales, not any views, simply being people of color that are examples that came from situations that most people come from. And pretty much, as they say, got it out the mud. I think that's the biggest thing you guys have done, because you guys are not like trust fund babies or nothing. Like, you straight, was in debt. I think 114K.
114K.
Yeah, no, that's huge. 114K. Some people can't keep their light bill on. You guys, you know what I'm saying? So 114K, 23 months, made it happen. And turn into platforms like this and everything else, like just being an example. I want to thank y'all for that. So really appreciate y'all.
I appreciate you, man.
So, how they say, all right, so boom.
They say here in New York.
We're recording it in New York, so you already know the vibes on this one.
So, let's spin it back. You guys had to delete the debt challenge. What year was that?
I don't remember. They might not even know what that even was.
So how you did so that was the
I'm going to
second
tell the
one
whole
you did.
story, how we got here. I'm going to tell the whole story.
That was the second one you did. I want to say
So
it was
we did a
2019,
challenge back
maybe?
in 2019, 2018.
It was before
Yeah,
COVID, though.
yeah,
So it had to
for
be
sure,
COVID.
COVID.
So
or
we did a
19.
challenge called Delete
Yeah.
the Debt Challenge, where we was on our last leg. We just finished up our debt, and we wanted to help people kind of continue that journey. It wasn't more about us. It was more about other people coming along for that journey. So we did that challenge. It was about a 10-week challenge, and Seth was one of the guests of that challenge.
Yep.
And let's go. Let's get it. This
so
is your story,
I was
not
in the Delete the
ours.
Debt challenge. I didn't win the challenge. I'll be honest. I didn't win the challenge.
How much debt did you pay off during that challenge?
So I think I paid off about maybe like 6K or 7K.
6K in 10 weeks.
Credit cards. Yeah. So that was
That's
good. But
big.
that kind of showed me it was a competitive thing to delete debt. Like pay off credit cards and delete balances. So it was a couple doctors in there I couldn't compete with. But you know what I'm saying?
That was a whole headache trying to make. You remember that?
Yeah. See, you know what I'm saying? So I was a part of that. So, that kind of got me into paying bills, creating side hustles, and creating additional income to delete the debt. So surveys, while I'm here, paid surveys was one of my ways to delete debt.
Okay.
So it started with, I was getting gift cards for like $100. So I was like, every month I'm getting a gift card of $100. So every month I'm going to set aside one gift card to pay my phone bill. Then I started keeping track. And I was like, damn.
When you say gift cards, what does that mean?
Oh, so like a payment from a paid survey. So like if you do a paid interview.
I thought you meant like family was giving you
gift
cards.
No. So
like
if
a
I got
Visa
Visa gift card.
Okay.
So if I got a Visa gift card from an interview, I would just save it and say, you know what, I'm going to pay my phone bill. Then it got to like 3 months, 6 months. I didn't pay my phone bill in 6 months. So I'm like, oh, granted, a phone bill is like $100, but that's just me removing one bill from my life off of a simple task. So I kept doing surveys. I actually started doing surveys when I was pre-college. Like, just little small ones in the mail.
Did someone teach you about surveys, or how did you?
Yeah, so my mom put me on.
Okay.
My mom put me on. When I was a kid, my mom used to do surveys.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
This
kids, parents, they got surveys for y'all, but I'll get to that later.
We're going to get into all of that.
Yeah, we're going to get, so my mom put me on. So how I got into surveys or how I discovered surveys, my mom had taken me to a survey. It was like $150, like mom and son watch a movie. I don't remember exactly what it was. I just remember getting $50 and she got $100. And I was just like, what is this? She was like, yeah, you know, the focus groups, sometimes people use that word, focus groups, paid studies. So that's how I got into it. And then she would like invite me or send me extra invitations. And then over time, I just built like what I call like my database in my Bible, like websites that work, what they're paying, answers that I do. So I just built it over time. College, after college, I'm like doing them, whatever. Like just to keep extra money because it's like, you know, at a point in my life, I was doing part-time jobs or like side hustles. And I was like working like 8 hours to get paid, I don't know, what, 200, 250. And I'm like, surveys are asking me to sit on Zoom for 2 hours for $250. So I might as well just work harder to find more surveys.
I was going to ask you that. So were you going in person to surveys or
both?
Okay.
I was doing them online. I was doing them in person and in the mail. So they was like, yo, we're going to mail you this candy bar. Try it. Give us your opinion online. Done. It would be like a Snickers in a packaging, not like some regular brand X packaging. Like,
right.
Or it would be like, watch this commercial or go to Levi, whatever the case may be. So I was just doing them to make money, keeping it full circle, right? 2022, I'm on Twitter.
So we was just at 2018, 19.
Yeah. Just this is throughout college, like life, adulthood. Like it just was like a.
So you were still doing like surveys.
Yeah. I've been doing surveys for.
Sounds like your whole life.
Yeah. My mom.
He's a survey baby.
Yeah, I'm definitely a survey baby. It was inherited. Like I went to a survey with my mom, and then I started doing it on my own, and then I started bumping into people in surveys. So it was like, yo, it was really a thing. So fast forward to like 2022. I had started doing so many surveys that they taxed me. I had never been taxed before.
They don't tell you about taxes when you start making a little money.
Never been taxed before from service. So I'm like,
so you have to submit. This may be a whole different ballgame, but you have to submit the amount that you make from taxes, and they eventually.
That's what I found out.
When you make over a certain amount.
Yeah, when you make over a certain amount, you got to get taxed. So I'm like,
of course they're coming for it.
So I'm like, hey, taxing me on $250? I can't keep my money.
250 adds up over the course.
250 adds up.
Like, let me get my money. So I'm like, damn, if I'm getting taxed, I got to start keeping track of this. So at the end of the year, I'm not down crazy. So I tweet this, and I have the tweet here. I'm make sure it's uploaded in the episode. I tweet this, right?
How you gonna make sure it's uploaded in our episode?
I'm gonna talk to the editors and the powers that be. So I tweet this. I'm like, damn, I made $2,500 in paid surveys and this was over at this time. This was over the course of 3 months. So one survey I had 500, 700, 600, 250. Like kept adding them up, 2,500. So I'm like, oh no, I got to keep track because end of the year
they're coming for me.
They coming for me. They coming for me, right? So when I tweet that, you know your husband don't miss nothing.
Listen, my friends have a running joke that if you want to keep the pressure applied, don't tell either of us.
No.
Like I'm the type, I'm putting it on my calendar. Oh, you said you want to graduate when? Okay, so November 15th.
You want your doctor's degree? Let's get it.
And I'm going to set an alert.
That's how I ended up here. I told him that. And then it became a thing. Like, I'm not telling him nothing else.
Exactly.
He watching my tweets. I see him in the views. I'm uncomfortable.
So, wait, what did the tweet say?
So I tweeted that. I'm like, damn, I made $2,500 or $2,250. I have the screenshot. Whatever the number was. I said, I made this in 3 months. I got to start keeping track. You replied to the tweet and you go, I thought I told you to do this 2 years ago.
Oh,
right?
so that means you were probably talking about this was during the challenge.
Yes, because I was giving people
the game during the challenge.
Challenge.
Okay. Like, this is a way to
So
add
you
more
were,
income.
you were like, yo, you should teach people this. I'm like, oh,
Okay.
of course the teacher's gonna tell me. Like, okay, sorry. Okay,
be a tutor now.
I can be a teacher. Okay, now I'm done. Of course. So that's how I took it. I'm like, of course. Like, you're gonna say that, of course. Like, so you said that then, and then you replied to the tweet. Then I text you. I'm like, all right, you got a course. Like, you created courses. You know course creators. Like, what do I do?
Where do I start?
He goes, go on your social media and post like you post all the other dumb, right?
All the other dumb shit.
Right. He goes, tell people what you're doing. So I'm like, all right, I'm doing this on my story. There's no Instagram page, no website. I'm doing this on my story. Just straight a black screen with white words on my story. Like the most spam bot looking thing ever, right? My only saving grace is that people knew me.
Yeah.
So they like, yo, like, Steph is not gonna post nothing crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm posting this on my story. Like, yo, I'm gonna do a free Zoom on Thursday. I remember it. On Thursday, come. Here's the link. I'm emailing people. Mind you, I'm not a business owner. I don't have a website. This is the free Zoom. I'm sending people the free link. Like, yo, I hope they ask enough questions in 30 minutes because it's gonna
cut off. I was thinking that.
Right?
You got 40 minutes or the timer pop
right?
up.
So I'm hoping they ask enough. So I'm like, people are watching it, replying, like, huh, what's his paid surveys? I'm like, all right, people not gonna, I'm like, I'm just posting this on my story. Like, people not gonna take this serious because I don't even know what I'm doing. And you could probably tell by these screenshots, right? So I set up the Zoom call, right? This is on my stories. I'm like, oh, nah, people might show up. People asking me for the emails, all that. Thursday night, I'll never forget it. It was 40 people on Zoom.
Just from a story.
Just from story posts. So I get on like, shit, man. I'm like,
think about being in a room
Did you
with 40
record that?
people.
No, I didn't. The free Zoom. I ain't recording that. The free Zoom.
I can't remember.
You got so you.
I was just saying if you could reflect back on it.
I want to
That's all
pause
I'm
for the people here. So I want to make sure we make it actionable for everyone. So you didn't have anything. You were just like, yo, I'm just gonna talk about what I've done, and we're gonna figure this out as we go along. You didn't have a link. You didn't have a website. You didn't have the paid Zoom. You were just like, we're gonna get here, and you got 40 people sitting in a room with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
So
40 people.
How
in
I
a
got
room.
to the Zoom, I have the text too. I gotta find them. I'm like, I don't know how to teach people. Like, how do I teach? I'm not a teacher. I ain't never taught nobody nothing. He's like, yo, listen, just post, tell people what you're doing. You said get an EIN, get an LLC, get a business bank account, and get a form of payment to collect money from people. I'm like, all right, I could Google all that. That's light. I could Google all that. LLC. Everybody got an LLC nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's light. Like,
I got a friend that can do it for me.
Yeah. He's like, yo, 30 days. Do it in 30 days. I'm going to come back. I got the text, too. He's like, do it in 30 days. I'm going to come back. So I'm how to buy LLC, all this. I came back. I'm thinking I'm up. Like, yeah, I got an LLC now. I'm mad proud of myself.
Which doesn't mean you got a business yet.
Right.
It's a start. You got to start somewhere.
We just want to be able to file our
He's like,
taxes.
Yeah. So he's like, all right, tell people what you're doing. Do the Zoom. I get on Zoom. It's 40 people. I'm like, oh shit, it's really people. They're interested in this.
They want to hear it, so I got to show some.
So
did you prep ahead? Like, did you have something written?
Yeah. So
okay.
I have this saved too. I did a PowerPoint presentation.
Okay.
I just put stuff in a PowerPoint. Like I put my receipts of the money I made. I showed like little tips on how to apply and what I do. Like, and if you're interested, let me know. So I'm doing pretty much a 30-minute PowerPoint presentation off the vert. Like. I'm mad nervous. I'm on the free Zoom. I'm like, yo, I hope I get to the last side before this cut off. Like, it's going to be crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm on the free Zoom talking to people. People listening. People still joining. I never forget it. My homegirl, Sim, right? So maybe like the 40-minute mark. No, 43-minute mark. She writes in the chat in the messages. She like, Seth, it's about to cut off. You got 2 minutes.
That's a joke.
In case you didn't see the thing pop up.
Right. So, yo, it's about to cut off. You got 2 minutes. So I'm like, I'm getting through it. I'm like, all right, so this is, yo, you interested? And it cuts off middle presentation.
Oh,
I'm
man.
like, damn, I just blew the bag. I'm like, damn.
Okay.
I'm like, nah, like, I think people going to trust
So
me.
wait,
like,
what was your goal by the end of that Zoom? If everything would
Did
have
you
went
have a
your
goal?
way, what you would have thought was supposed to happen at the end of the Zoom?
Yeah.
just to get my information out there and to have people interested.
Okay.
Like, I had like a payment link, but I'm on a PowerPoint presentation off my stories. Like, nobody's like going to do this. So I'm like, damn, I blew it back. I'm like, you know what? Just for people showing up and willing to listen, I'm going to send an apology email and I'm going to send a payment link. just in case anybody heard enough and they want to buy. So,
and what was that link?
Mind you, it was a Stripe link.
Stripe
I just
link.
had a Stripe link.
That's
okay.
LLC, Stripe link, and Vibe.
That's
Hit me
it.
up. You know what I'm saying?
And listen, that just shows sometimes that's what you need to get started
Yo.
because we think we need so much bigger.
Yo, and this is why I
it's
tell the story, because anybody who's out there who wants to start a business, it's really, I'm not going to say it's not that hard.
Yeah, but it depends on what
as you say,
yeah.
half the battle is just getting started.
Mm-hmm.
That part is not
It's
hard.
like half the battle is like getting out of bed. Like,
Yeah.
once I get out, I'm going to get rolling.
Exactly. So I had a Stripe link, no website, just straight Stripe link and Vibes. I'm learning Stripe as I go. I'm like, damn, somebody sent a payment. I need to know how to
What
put
I
this
need
in my
to do.
account. What do I do? Like,
Did you connect your bank account?
I never had a business, none of this. So I'm like, send out a Stripe link, send out an apology email. Yo, sorry, just thank y'all for coming out. Yo, even if you heard enough and you're interested, like, and you want to do this, let me know. 1,500. Like that.
People bought. What did you selling your what were you selling the course at the time?
500.
Was it a course or was
Where's
it
the course? Like,
what
was
the Stripe
it?
link
like,
to?
Yeah, what the hell
The
is
Stripe
this?
link was to me and hit me up because I'm going to teach you service.
So you didn't have nothing.
I didn't have nothing. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. I didn't have nothing.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what I was trying to figure out. Like,
You gotta
did
break
you
it
have
down.
any-
Because
Yeah, because I mean that is very, very similar to our story.
we gotta make sure people
We are very,
I didn't
very
have
similar
nothing.
to our
A
story in
Stripe
that
link
he
and a
was
Gmail. I had that too. Yeah. I had
okay. So you had an email too. He was adamant in regards to the cleaning business that people wanted to know more about it.
Mhm.
I didn't believe that people wanted to know more about it. I'm like, they probably just want to know about the debt story. No one wants to hear
Right,
about the
right,
cleaning
right.
business. He's like, okay, what we're gonna do is at that time it was Gumroad we were using, which is another platform.
Mhm.
We're gonna use this link. Nothing, no, no course behind it, and we're gonna go on live and tell our story about it and drop the link and just say, if you want to know more, purchase here. And if 10 people buy, we got to make the course. That was the conversation that we had. And we just promoted it like, oh, it's going to be this amount and then we'll raise the price after. We was just
we
talking.
got started.
And we just got started. So we dropped the link and over 10 people bought.
Mm.
So we had to make the course. So
Mhm.
just like you, we did not have a course like when we were like testing it, if you will. And just like you, we didn't have a course. We just had people buying and we're like, we'll get it out by this date. And we got it out by that date. So you didn't even have a date. You just was like,
That's it.
if you want to know more.
I didn't.
And how did you decide to charge $500?
Because I felt like that was a fair threshold that if people send you $50, people would just waste your time. You know what I'm saying? Some people, when I, in my personal opinion, when you spend more on things, people take it more
When you
serious.
pay attention.
And also, I knew how much I was going to make for people. I knew studies was $250, $150, $300. I had people making their money back in one survey.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
it's a lifetime thing.
Yeah. There's
Once I teach you, you could go run that for life.
Exactly.
You
The
could make
knowledge is forever.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
Oh, also, backtracking more, at the time, I wasn't working. Because how I really was, at the time, I was really up in the surveys. And when you told me to start it, I wasn't working. So I was like doing whatever I had to do to make extra money. So it kind of brings it full circle because I had gotten into a car accident and then I wasn't working for 6 months. But because I had so much downtime and I needed extra money, like I was applying hard to surveys. And then we had that
You
conversation.
were taking surveys more seriously.
Yeah. So I know I'm dipping back and
No, you're
forth, but
good.
fast forward to when the 3 students bought, I'm like, yo, I just made $1,500. I didn't have no website. I don't even got the official Zoom. I'm rolling with a Stripe account and Vibes, and people are checking for it.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I got to keep doing this.
Because you have the people aren't paying you because of your website, because you got a fancy logo. They're paying you
Right.
because they want that information. You've been doing this you said you was doing it with your mom as a kid.
Yeah.
You wasn't
It's a whole
taking it
different beast.
seriously.
Yeah.
You were just like, oh, my mom taught me this skill. It took somebody else. It didn't have to be me, but it took somebody else saying, yo, there is a skill set here that you have that people need in their life. It's not about going out there and making a course. It was like, yo, I have a skill set and it can help people. I can impact people with this. And that's when I believe you started taking it more seriously.
Yeah. So it was that conversation that catapulted the whole movement. But then that Thursday night, and I woke up and it was $1,500 in my Stripe account. I'm like, yo, just off me telling people that I could make them money, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna try this. So November, December, I still had no website because again, I'm not working and I don't even have business funding. So whatever people like purchase is what I'm gonna use to start. So I'm like, yo, I need one more sale because I gotta buy this Zoom. You know what I'm saying?
You in this damn Zoom.
I gotta buy this Zoom. No, I had to buy the Zoom because you gotta think about it. I'm building the business and people asking questions. I'm like, yo, you could only buy this if you could talk to me in 40 minutes. Because I ain't got nothing else for you.
Yeah, literally.
So I ain't got nothing else for you. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm literally growing the business and building my funding, my business funding with the sales
That are coming in.
Yes. So it's just like, yo, like, I need people to make money off these surveys because I don't want people to start saying, oh, I'm not making money. I gave him $500. I need these sales cards coming because I'm going to start building this stuff. November, December, I had 50 students. No website. No website, off the story. I was like, all right, I'm going to get an Instagram page. 50 sales later, I'm like, all right, I'm going to get an Instagram page, right?
Not necessary.
So then I get the Instagram page. I'm like, all right, I got to get a website. I got to do this officially. Like, I got to buckle down because those first 2 months, word started spreading. Like, I'm in parties. Like, I'm getting random DMs. Like, yo, I heard you got surveys, da-da-da. Like,
So
who do I talk to?
Those
like,
first students that you had when you first launched, let's talk about that part of your journey. Yeah. So how long you were working with them? Like, what was their results while you were building with them? Because you're building a business while you're helping them make money on these,
right.
You know,
so
on the surveys. And then we'll get to like...
I created a group chat.
Yeah.
So that's how I started my community. I created a group chat. I created an email thread, and I had weekly calls. So what I was doing was I was going through all my websites and going through all my notes and having one-on-one coaching sessions with people. So like, all right, okay, I'm going to sit you down one-on-one, 40 minutes, because you know the vibes. You know what I'm saying? 40 minutes. And I'm going to teach you everything. And then if you need additional help, you can come in my community, weekly group chat, all that. Hit me on the side, email me. People were reaching out to me all kind of ways. Like, it was just like nonstop over phone. I'm on Google, like, following y'all, like, oh, VA? What's a VA? Let me Google that. I might need that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just following y'all, people you repost, and like, I'm just literally
You're just
learning,
getting information
but
as you're going.
But as a business owner too. Like, I had never, like, I've been involved in businesses. I've helped business run, but like, it's different when you got to start from completely zero. Like, all right, go learn MailChimp. You know what I'm saying? Like, go learn this, go learn that, go learn business taxes. So I'm doing everything on the run. And then I had to stop because the traffic got too crazy. And then I launched my website. Then when I launched my website, March 24th, I had like maybe like 15 grand in sales in a month.
Wow.
Just having a website, just somewhere people could go.
Yeah.
Not saying that to like brag about money or anything, but it was just like.
But now people think of you in a different light. For some reason, a website or something makes people feel like you're a bit more serious.
Right.
And now I can see everything in one place, right? I don't just got to hear it from you. I can see your receipts. I can see what you offer. Everything is here. You don't got to be repeating yourself and stuff like notoriety. All that stuff comes from just a website sometimes.
Right. Yeah. But then again, because it started spreading and it got so crazy. Like, I needed the website for my sanity because people were texting me at 12 o'clock. Like,
oh yeah,
yo, like,
not too much boundaries.
No, people would text me at 8 o'clock because I had no website and it was just Stripe, Zelle, Venmo, whatever. People were like texting me like, yo, I get paid Friday. Don't forget about me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo. So now I'm like, yo, I got a website. You could just go there. So like, I literally fell into it as like a side hustle to delete the debt. And then just following like you guys who just created a course based on something that you knew how to do. And I'm like, I don't know how to like teach people, but I'm like, as long as I can replicate my knowledge to other people and get them the same results, then it just kept working.
And I think the biggest thing what Anthony always says is people just want to get to where you are, right? So sometimes before we start a business, we think we need to know every single piece of the business. And it's like, not necessarily. If you can get me to this point, then I may find someone else to get me to another point, so on and so forth. Or maybe when you escalate, I can follow you there too. So people just want to get to where you are sometimes.
And it's funny you say that because even in business, like people, and I was one of those people, so I know like people don't start businesses because they feel like they don't know. But the gag is when you start, you don't know.
You don't know.
So you might as well just start.
Like you have the knowledge, but you don't have the business side of it, and that's what
you're still going to be learning.
You're still going to be learning.
You start a business and then hire a business coach. You still learning.
Still learning. It's learning you learning yourself.
You're still learning. So I just thought that was funny that I went through that experience where I was like, I don't know how to be a teacher. Like, I don't know how to run no business. Obviously, I'm still learning now, but it's just like.
So what changes have you made now? Do you feel makes it a bit more easier or more manageable, I should say, besides the website?
A business coach. I think that's vital for any business owner. And it doesn't necessarily have to be someone that did what you done.
Mm-hmm.
It could just be someone who started a business and knows how to operate a business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that concept is just simple. Like that, you don't have to I didn't have to find a paid survey coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just knew Anthony knew how to run a business. Like he ran his own business that he taught people to teach. You know what I'm saying? So like I knew on multiple levels, like he just knew how to run a business. Like I don't think you gotta.
Don't give him more ideas.
No. I'm not.
I'm not.
I give Steph enough free game.
Yeah. So
I think we could.
But
take
he takes action.
Yeah. So I just think you don't have to like reinvent the wheel. Like again, like I was saying earlier, just starting. Like I think people are scared to start. It's just like.
Anything else? What about like friends and family? Has anything changed there? Have you surrounded yourself with different people, or what are they saying when you started?
I think the biggest thing were people didn't realize how much money you can make from paid surveys. Like, I think a big part of the little bit of success I've had so far is that I'm opening people's eyes. Like, listen, like you don't have to like work 800 jobs and start 3 businesses to make extra money. Like, I have students who've made $1,000 in a month from paid surveys. And what's key, and I think you guys can attest to this, is like time and money becomes one and the same as you get older. So the key with paid surveys is it doesn't take a lot of time. So it's like if I work a part-time job making $20 an hour and I give them 10 hours, that's $200. After Uncle Sam get his cut, I'm probably taking home what? 140.
I don't know in New York.
Let's just say 150 for conversational purposes. I just gave somebody 10 hours of my time for $150.
Yeah.
And paid surveys are paying $200 for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And that allows me to get my other time to do other stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, what also helped was me doing surveys while I ran the business. One, and I'm going to say this on camera too, you should never, ever, ever learn something from somebody who's still not doing it.
What do you mean? Elaborate on that.
So I wouldn't recommend learning surveys from me if I'm not doing surveys anymore.
Yeah.
So Andy says that all the time too, and I don't agree.
You don't think so?
No.
Why not?
His biggest thing is, we still run the cleaning business, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but if I didn't, I had 6-7 years in the business. I know the business still.
But businesses change.
Businesses
Markets
do
change.
I agree, but
You
that
gotta
doesn't mean
stay
I
in
don't got the
touch.
knowledge.
That's true, but
We have that discussion.
All right, so
all the
let me
time,
ask you this. All right, no, that's a good point. Let me ask you this. You got 10 years in experience, 10 years experience in the cleaning business. But your last year of experience is 10 years ago. Would you hire me?
Probably not.
You know what I'm saying?
10 years ago, yeah, that's a big difference.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to stay in the loop with things. So I still do surveys because I want to know what I'm teaching people. I want to know that my concept still works.
Yeah.
You know
I got to ask you this question. If you don't want to answer it, it's okay, but I want to be transparent. How much have you made doing paid surveys? You should have your number.
Oh, my number? Yeah, of course.
In what range? A year, 2 years?
I want to know total. Like that,
total.
that you were able to track, I guess.
Yeah,
I know
for
you're not
sure.
going to track when you was 15.
No, this year.
We going a year. Okay.
Yeah, this year,
2024.
Yeah, 2024.
Okay.
Yeah, this year I think I'm in like 1,100.
1,100, okay.
1,100,
Okay.
but that only took me, and one canceled on me, I think 7 hours.
Wow.
Okay.
So 1,100, 7 hours.
Okay.
Right? Last year I did 5,500
Okay.
in 47 hours. That's when I started
So you're
keeping
tracking
track.
your hours.
Yeah,
Okay.
now you see how much.
yeah.
So now you see how much you get paid hourly.
Yeah, for sure. That's important.
So that's an
important.
extra $5,000 that you're able to make in a year. What's the hourly rate on that? It was like $100 an hour or something like that.
Right, exactly.
But if you think about 47 hours, that's 1 hour, 1 week of work. Let's say.
1 week of
We
work.
work 40 hours, but
You go to work and you don't even make that much.
I damn sure don't make that. I do not make 5,500 a week. I'll tell you that much.
You don't make that much a week.
That's what I just said. I don't make 5,500 a week.
It's just crazy.
I don't make that in a two-pay period.
Now,
sometimes.
with people watching this episode, they're like, all right, Seth, we know that you've done well. We know what your students do. What game can we give them today so that, all right, I want to take action from this episode and go start making money today? So if somebody's ground zero watching this episode, okay, I know his story, I understand it, but I want to know, where do I start making money today from surveys? What can we give away?
I'm going to steal a line for you. What is your why?
Okay.
What is your why?
So you said start with a bill.
Yeah,
something like that?
No, I wouldn't say start with a bill, but it's just like, again.
His why at the time was just a phone bill, but for somebody else,
my why
it may be
design was a
something.
phone bill or
Okay.
like
Somebody
making
else.
extra money.
Yeah.
But my thing is like a lot of people do surveys and then they stop and it's like, I want extra money because I want to go to Trinidad. I want extra money for this. This is like,
one
I
specific thing.
have students who do surveys for different reasons. So just figure out
Different
what your
seasons.
reason is.
Okay.
So some was like, yo,
What's the
like,
typical reason you'll see? A vacation, a credit card
vacation,
bill?
extra money is just like, yo, I'm gonna take care of my outside because we all outside. Outside is expensive. Drinks, food, Uber, blah blah. It's expensive. So I want to take care of my outside. Some people like, yo, like I gotta start taking care of my mom. So that little bit of extra money, that's an extra $400. I'm gonna just give her every month. Some people like, yo, like this is gonna be my extra income. Like some people make $700, $800 a month. Like my highest student made $15,000 last year.
Wow.
They was working it. They was working the surveys, I'm saying.
mean, if it's working, you gotta work
Oh,
it. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I ain't complaining.
If you work, how about that?
I ain't
what I'm saying?
complaining,
Like,
but that's a good
and
amount.
surveys is
So-
like, from your computer.
Yeah.
So paid surveys is something that anybody can do as long as you have a phone and a computer.
All right, so we got that. We got our why. I would say a why is, let's say I got a credit card bill. My credit card bill is like, let's say about $250, $300 a month. Where will we start there?
That is
No, I was looking at you.
Oh, was it
you
sure?
you learning a side hustle to develop income to take care of additional bills.
Okay.
Again, it started with me and a phone bill, but now people make $500, $600, and they want it to take care of like their
Other
car
things.
note or like taking care of whatever excess bills come up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know my last couple grocery runs just been surveys.
Mhm.
So it's like, all right, I just made $250, Trader Joe's, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and groceries are expensive because in my experience, I find that you can tackle your bills, you can plan ahead, but it's always like this came up
The miscellaneous.
or the miscellaneous stuff. It's never the rent that kills you.
Oh, yeah.
It's never the rent that's kills
'Cause
you.
you know
It's
what
like
it is. You know
it's
how much
like,
it costs.
yo, I had to go get my arm checked and my insurance ain't cover it, so I had to pay an extra $300.
Yeah.
And then my mom needed $200.
Mm-hmm.
And now my check engine blinking. And Apple still want their $2.99
Oh,
for
my
storage.
God.
I'm fighting for my life.
$2.99. We get charged. Child, Apple be in
You know what I'm saying?
You know
So
what?
it's always the excess stuff. So I think paid surveys are perfect for people who, one, run into those extra, bills, but more so like people who want to get ahead. So it's easy to come home to a check, $300 in the mail. It's like, all right, I could save this, or this could take care of my family. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's really about like, what's the reason you want to make extra money? Like, is it just for a vacation? Because once the vacation's over, then it's like, all right, I paid for the side hustle. I didn't do it again. Do I'm gonna wait for my next vacation? It's like everybody's motive is a little different.
Yeah.
But one thing you need to know is like time and money too. I make this program very seamless so that you're only doing this maybe half hour, 45 minutes a day. And I think that's time that everybody has to be on a computer or scrolling your phone. Listen, you scrolling Instagram, you done hit refresh 8 times. Your last 3 posts, you complaining about money. You on Twitter, you checking your ex's tweets. He not checking yours. He or she is not checking yours. I got a solution for both problems. Use your social media, head to my website, and start doing paid surveys. www.thesurveyplug.com. You can make over $100 an hour. I have students who have made up to $15,000 in a year from paid surveys. Get out of Justin LA Boy's comments, get out the shade room, start doing surveys. You're wasting your time on social media and all these other platforms. You could be applying to surveys online, making hundreds of dollars an hour. Start now, surveyplug.com.
And so is there any challenges with the survey that you find? Doing surveys?
The biggest challenge that I tell everybody is that it's tedious. So you're constantly like applying, repeating the same information. So that's the biggest challenge. And then sometimes you don't get selected. But because surveys pay so well, you don't have to get selected 100 times.
Right.
So my boy just got a $400 survey yesterday. He don't
Yeah.
get picked
All the
again
time.
for the month. He made $400
He made
this
$400,
month, and he
yeah.
still has the rest of the year.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So like I'm scheduled for a $300 survey next month. That's online. And I have one in person next week for $100. So I'm scheduling this around my clock, like, all right, do this online, $100 there, go do something else. So I think the gift with surveys is that it's not time consuming and it's something that could fit into your schedule. Whereas, as business owners, you on the clock all day long. You know
Like
what I'm
you
saying?
mentioned
Like,
your boy that doesn't get. What are some things people can do to likelihood? So you mentioned like getting picked. People may not understand what that even means. So
okay.
what's the process like? What's a website I go to? And what do you mean by getting? Because I understand it, but I want to break it down where they understand it.
Oh, okay. Perfect. So A lot of problems that people have with paid surveys is one, they're not paying. Two, or they only pay with like points or like it's like scam. So in my program particularly, the list of sites, which is about 60 websites that I
You got
use.
60.
Oh,
Give me at
wow.
least 2 or 3 right now. I want to give them some game.
Yeah.
Or one.
User interviews is one.
Okay.
Respondent is 2.
Okay.
58 others, you got to hit my website for that. You know what I'm saying? You got to hit my website for that.
So when you go to these websites, what are they looking for? Like, what's the type of questions they ask you?
Okay.
And what should they not be applying for?
We'll say that one more time.
So they go to the website. Tell me what the process is. Let's say they go to one of those websites. What does that process look like for them?
Okay.
Because I want people to be like, yo, I watched the episode. I actually implemented. I want more.
Okay. So when you go to any market research or paid survey website, they're going to have a list of topics
Okay.
that you may or may not fit in. So, for example, we're looking for women in Chicago who consume coffee.
Okay.
For a $150 study, 90 minutes online. Apply to this screener, and if you qualify, we'll call you.
Yeah.
Simple. So you can Google that. You can go on any website. That's what a legit paid survey looks like.
Okay. Even if I'm in New York, do I apply to that, or do they check
No,
your
no,
ID
no,
and
no,
stuff?
no,
your
no, no,
IEP,
no, no, no.
They check my IP, my ID.
So good thing about paid surveys is, and that's a good question, is you can live anywhere and do them.
Okay.
You can live anywhere and do them, and they have paid surveys in pretty much all 50 U.S. states.
Okay.
However, if you live in a highly populated area, a bigger city, there's more paid surveys there, because how market research works is exactly that, market research. So
Larger market.
Yeah, larger market. So the New Yorks, the LAs, the Chicagos, the Miamis are where like the largest surveys are. So you can pretty much do them anywhere, but I teach you how to find studies in your area.
Local to you.
So pretty much, like, if you're having the issue of, one, I don't get picked all the time, I've created a whole handbook on how to get picked, and I also teach my students one-on-one how to get picked. So I go through all of that. I know that's like a very popular issue where people are like, oh, I see these surveys all the time, and I don't get picked. They don't call me. I've rectified that problem for hundreds of people so far. The other thing is, you don't have to like apply to studies in Chicago. Like, there's nationwide studies online where they're recruiting all over the world, or there's like facilities in these big cities. So you can do them online, in person, in the mail. I have a workbook that I created, pretty much my strategies and tips on how to get picked. I have a weekly coaching call. So you're like, yo, like, I read your workbook, I'm still not getting it. Like, we do surveys together. Like, I've done this with everybody. And one thing that is different about my program is that I sign people up on the websites, because that's the biggest challenge with paid surveys. It's tedious.
What's tedious about signing up on a website? I would think I'm just my name, email.
That's what I'm trying to walk through the process.
Right. Okay. Your name,
Address.
email, address, phone number. How long that going to take for a whole website? Oh, you got to put your information into it, your demographics, where you live. Do you got a car? Are you a parent?
Okay, so those are the additional questions.
Yeah,
that need to go
the
with it.
whole-
So maybe 20 minutes?
Per site?
Maybe, I don't know.
Times
Or is it
60?
less? Oh, you're saying that you have to do. Okay, I see what you're saying. Just to
times
do all of
60,
those. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I realized is, and when I did my research, there's a lot of paid surveys, websites, and databases out there, but who has time to
sign up for
like,
all
if I give you a
those?
list of 60 websites and I'm like, sign up on these. Once you sign up, I'm gonna teach you through it.
You may do
Hypothetically
a few.
speaking, 5 minutes each site,
Okay.
60 websites, 300 minutes. What's that? Almost 5 hours?
Yeah, you don't have to do it in one sitting though.
Yeah, but you want to make money.
You wanna
sooner,
make money
right? Sooner.
right away.
Yeah, so part of my program is like, you literally pay, you sign up, I sign you up on the websites, you have a one-on-one coaching call with me, you join my community, you have access to all the paid surveys in the coaching, and you apply in 3 days. It's a 72-hour turnaround.
These websites got to figure out how I could transfer my information. Well, if you're using a Mac, maybe you could just click.
No,
click
that's
the thing.
I mean, that's definitely one of the challenges. So let's say you give me those 60 sites, and I decide, all right, I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna go through maybe about 5 a day, whatever it takes me. Takes me about a week. So after I go through those websites, do they call me? Do they email me?
kinda wait.
Like, what's the game there?
All three. They call, they email, sometimes they text. It all depends on the research company and the study. So if it's online, they may email you or they may call you. So I've been called and like, hey, Seth, we have a study next week, 90 minutes, 175. Are you free to come into our Midtown office? Or are you free online? They contact you pretty much phone, email.
I just thought about something while you were saying that. Have you, at this point, built any connections with people that work for these companies?
Yes. So I would say from before the survey plug, I actually got acquainted with like recruiters
Mm-hmm.
who, I became someone who was like good at surveys and they knew I was going to be there on time and I was going to be available and not cancel or whatever. And now some of them like just text me directly like, hey, you free Friday? I got a last minute slot for a survey. Like, one just texted me yesterday and is like, hey, we're doing an ice cream study. Do you want to eat some ice cream for 45 minutes? We're paying $125.
Why would that sound? Anyway.
It was some ice cream.
It's an ice cream. That's an ice cream study. That's an ice cream.
Exactly.
You want some ice cream?
But my thought would be that could help with your students too.
Yeah.
That you could.
Are you able to
pass things off? That's what I was wondering.
I mean, I do surveys just to make sure I'm still in the loop.
Right.
My emails, I just forward them to my students because I would rather them get money.
Get some stuff.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not trying to like. I do surveys just to stay in the concept and still understand what's going on. But as far as like my email list, I pass them to my community.
Then so my other question would be: have you ever tried to speak to these companies, saying like, "Hey, I have a group of people that would always be interested. Come to me first." Not like that.
But,
but kind of like pitch the survey plug.
Yeah. No, I thought about that. But I noticed like market research companies, like I'm just not there yet to be. Yeah, they want.
Well, I got different demographics.
Yeah, no,
you trying to say all demographics black?
They definitely want the people
watching this is very similar.
They definitely want the people that we're in touch with, but they more into like volume analytics. So like 3,000 people in New York. Are they drinking coffee? I don't have like those numbers to be honest.
Not yet, but I may have 700 that helps
But
you.
my boy Jerome drink coffee and he a good participant.
Not
so
just
I'm
one
link you with
person.
him and you pick him. You know what I'm saying?
What's the craziest survey that you've seen so far, or one of your students have seen? Like the most outrageous one that you was like, this is nuts.
4,800.
$4,800?
$.
A 3-month online bulletin board.
So like
4,800.
What did they have to
break
do?
that down for me? Break that down for me.
What did they have to do on the bulletin board though?
I'm not.
What was their time commitment?
So I got some stories from my surveys too, but
you used to do surveys. I forgot.
Yeah.
Did you put that in the delete the debt? You put
I've
that
done
in
the bulletin board. We had to read articles, and it became like a classroom.
Okay.
And we were just going back and forth in dialogue, and they said you had to speak in the chat for at least maybe like 20 minutes.
Yes, I forgot because every time we speak about the delete the debt, we mention surveys. People be on the lives. This is before
really
live saying, "Well, what surveys did you did?" Or totally like I did like 6 surveys. I don't got no information from you.
I'm like that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Go to my guy Seth. And the other one I had that was crazy was a video game. They sent me a new, what was it, MLB, and I didn't even have a PlayStation or something. I had to borrow Sajad's my boy's PlayStation, and I had to play the game.
You did one in Dallas for Nothing But
Cake.
Because you love that cake.
If you are in Dallas, Texas, or anywhere, and you get
wherever they have it, I don't
imagine your favorite grocery store, your favorite whatever restaurant. They send you the ability to we're gonna pay you to eat your favorite food,
Red Lobster,
for like $100. I'm like, absolutely, and it's a hidden flavor too. I was like, absolutely, I am in there. So I was able to do that. That was a long time ago.
Yeah,
though.
that was a while ago. That was at least 6 years ago or so that you've done surveys. But
yeah, morning. Haven't been active in the chat, but super excited. I just got approved for a curly hair study for $4,200 and doing a whiskey study tomorrow for $250.
Curly hair study. So you got to have curly hair.
Well, curly hair.
I'm gonna be curious on that.
Yeah, but that's still big. That's still huge.
Yeah. So they're probably. I mean, I don't know the details, but they're probably mailing her products to
try utilize it,
or like analyze the packaging, or like
that could be
everything is not
way of influencing.
Everything is not physical
products.
So it might be like if you get picked for a liquor study, it doesn't mean you like drinking whiskey. You might be watching a commercial. You might be studying
looking
the
at the bottle.
Looking
yeah,
at the back. It's not like always like, oh, you got to put some stuff in your head. We're gonna pay $4,200. Eat this candy bar. If you survive, we're gonna send you $7.
yeah, exactly. No, that's true.
Yeah, so it's not always like that. It's like real. It's different things. But I teach you how to find them. I teach you how to identify like what the study is going to be on, so you could be prepared, whether it be like Zoom or be online. I teach you everything from A to Z, from applying to getting paid.
Okay.
So I'm gonna apply some pressure. You started the cleaning business.
I did.
What happened to that?
Surveys got busy. That's exactly what happened.
What happened to that? Because he was in there. He was in the community. He was going strong.
I was going strong. Your husband was yelling at me 2 different ways, yelling at me about cleaning, yelling at me about surveys. I had to pick one battle.
No, and that's fine.
That's a good point.
That could be it.
I
pick my battle.
I want to stay there. Yeah, that's a good point right there.
That's a good point. And I actually want to talk about that because I am starting a cleaning business and it's still...
Oh, are you? I was just playing with you.
No, you're right. And that's kind of how I got here. I'm still starting that, but because the survey plug started like getting busy, and I think like I'm a firm believer you should just focus on like one thing at a time when you starting new. When you new, like when you like a multi-level entrepreneur and you got multiple businesses and you could do, but like when I'm starting new, like you should just focus on one thing. So
why do you believe that?
Because you stretch yourself too thin. Like you're trying to figure out everything from A to Z for 3 different businesses and 3 different like cultures and
what about multiple streams of income? You believe in that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Streams of income?
For sure. Definitely multiple streams of income. You got to. That's just one stream of income is just not going to cut in any aspect of life these days.
That's going to be my question, because if one could say if the survey plug is doing so well, then why add something else on?
It's doing well, but it's early.
Okay. I mean, you never know what could go. I just pitched you something to pitch to the company.
No. It's early. Like, totally honest. I'm only on one social media platform right now. I haven't even got to TikTok, Facebook. They kind of mean on Facebook and Twitter. Is a nasty planet on there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's a different world.
Yeah, it's a different world on there. So, I'm definitely still growing. Definitely still like teaching people market research, because I know people know about paid surveys. They've heard about them. They've done them. But people don't know the magnitude of the money that can be made. And more surveys are online now since
with COVID.
COVID and the pandemic. Because doing a group interview with 8 people, it's a little harder to get 8 people in the room comfortable with.
Go ahead.
Comfortable with like, talking, people
proximity,
things,
all that type of stuff.
It's harder to get that off.
So this is just me pulling up my email. I typed in survey in my email. Just read what that says.
What is it?
Oh.
How much is that?
Household product research, $150.
$150. I just literally just typed in. When did that email come in?
Yesterday.
Not deleted. It's still in my inbox because just in case I decide that I want to do surveys, I still keep those emails.
A household product research for adults in select states across the country. 3-day online bulletin board, $150.
So I wanted to say
that's grocery money for somebody.
That's grocery money. So that's Elliott Benson. You could go.
That's another website.
You could go look them up. But
sound like Stabler and Olivia from SV.
But that just shows you the power. They still email me to this day, and it's like I don't open them. They still there. But I was like, I knew there was an email in there for a survey. Why do people ignore those emails though? Because I'm sure there's people out there that get them and they think they're a scam. Why do people think surveys are a scam?
Okay. So I'll answer that. I'll be honest. Some are like junk and some are scams.
But how do you know? Like figuring out how you know?
Well, I know from my own experience and my database that I've vetted. You know what I'm saying?
So the website, you're saying the websites you tell them to sign up for won't give you any scam?
No, yeah. So let me explain that. So the websites that I use in the survey plug will not scam you, will not chip you, or not send you any points like the surveys that I use. However, there's a lot of them that was just like junk, spam, start emailing you. So you really have to know the websites to go to and how to use them. A lot of people ignore these emails because with all the spam and the scams and the junk out there, it's easy to ignore emails. It's like, who on earth is going to pay me $150 to talk about toiletries? There are people that will do that. I know them. I know that. So I'm doing an online study to talk about virtual reality glasses for $300.
So well, back to the question about the cleaning business. I know you said you're still starting it, but did you start them at the same time? Is there anything you took from the cleaning business that you used in the survey plug?
Yeah, everything. I didn't want to steal y'all playbook. I didn't want to say that on camera, but can we talk about everything?
That's the biggest thing we tell people. Like, even if you don't do the cleaning business, at least you learn something from the course of the model. Then that's fine for us.
Okay, so I didn't want to say that, but if I can say that, I'm gonna say I was in the community like EIN. I'm like, this girl from North Carolina just opened. Let me ask her how to get an LLC. Like, the community. No. The community helped me a lot because starting a business, as you guys know, the founding concepts are the same. Business bank account, form of payment, arguing with payment processors, hiring people. Like, those principles are the same.
Right.
So like I'm watching people in the community like, anybody got experience with MailChimp? I'm waiting for the comments because I'm like, that's me. That's me. Like,
I need that help
the community like with founding principles, and again starting and cleaning businesses, you're dealing with more people and hiring people. And I think there's way more tangibles in that. But the principles of like starting a business are the same. So like you helped me avoid a mistake because I was gonna pay like some crazy money for like a logo.
Are we speaking about that?
It's in the community every day.
Cut
it don't matter what the logo look like, just post it.
Because it's
It
so
don't
true.
matter.
Whenever you speak to people, or whenever we're on live and we're speaking to people about like getting their business started, or what's stopping them, they talking about the name, the color, the logo, and I'm like,
because I remember it is always like
ain't nobody
that.
purchasing from you because of your logo.
You worried about editing this broom on your logo? You ain't even got no cleaners.
You're making me seem like
it's true though.
No, because you really like drove that
like
home.
You start and you change over time.
Not
if you need
enabling, like I mean, not enabling, not
procrastinating.
Yeah, not procrastinating and like overthinking like the small things because people are like, yo, I gotta get a logo. Like,
that's gonna take me 3 weeks.
I got it 3 weeks. Yo, I'm researching 4 people. And also, I would say in your cleaning business, because you have that mindset and that attitude, some people catapult and just go fast. So it's like, I'll be fully transparent. I remember joining the cleaning program, and then people I joined with, seeing they notifications, I'm like, oh, nah, this is toxic. I gotta
Imagine being in that friend group and all your friends is like, I got this promotion, I got this raise.
I'm in the chat.
I just became a doctor.
I'm like, I don't know these people, but I'm like, you see the people coming in. I'm like, Renee from South Carolina, whatever. Hey, y'all, it's been 4 weeks. I made $9,000. I love this place. I'm in the chair. I'm in my living room like, damn.
What am I doing here? So the community can be both. Yeah, that's true.
And then you got to see it again on the live. So you see it in the chat, then you're going to see it on the live.
Put some pressure on you.
Yeah, it's good.
So speaking of that, just the community aspect. So we obviously build a community for Cleaning Business University, but with your community, I know you build these things so that it can become the place that you want to be a part of. So what type of things are you guys doing in your community together, whether it's individually, whatever? Like what type of things are you guys doing in your community?
Well, the Survey Plug community. Yeah, the Survey Plug community. The first thing we do that's important is we share wins. It's good to be in like a group chat with people who's doing the same things as you, so you know that stuff is working. So it's like it's not a scam because I'm in a chat with 200 people who using the same websites as me. That's 1. 2, and I don't want to repeat this, but because it's community, we all help each other. So it's like, all right, what website should I go to? No, you should go here. Like, should I apply like this? I've been putting this. What does this mean? How do I convert a gift card to cash? Like, we're all helping each other. We're all helping each other. Like, all right, no, I just did this. I just applied to them. Or referrals. That's been the big thing now. So, like, last week in my community, somebody had a TV study where they were recruiting people to give their opinion on new TVs. It was $150 for 90 minutes. Nothing crazy. But once they got...
Can we not glance over $150 for 90 minutes, please?
I mean, I don't know. Everybody make $500K on Twitter. I don't know.
Everybody, the stats actually show
people
less than
make
10% of people make $100,000.
Yeah.
So that's what the nationwide stats say.
That's
but Twitter is a different place.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody's a millionaire
that's
on there.
True. So once she got picked, the recruiter said, hey, if you know anybody else who wants to do this study, tell them to call me. So they jumped in the chat like, yo, I just got picked for a study. Yo, this recruiter's looking for more people. Yo, call this person. So everybody's calling like, yo, I just got picked. Yo, I just got picked.
Yeah.
Another key thing about surveys, if they cancel on you, you still get picked.
You
still get paid, right? I'm sorry.
Like if the survey canceled.
So that study you just got, right? Let's say it was in person. If you applied, got selected, you went there, they might say, Anthony, we overbooked for the study. Just sit here and we'll let you go home. You'll get $150 and go home.
Ooh.
So last month I had a study in Midtown that was $175, 90 minutes on clothing brands. So I had to go to Midtown and probably talk about clothing brands. I get there, they're like, hey, sorry, we overbooked. We got to let you go. But you'll still get paid. $175, 15 minutes. I sat there. They gave me a check, wrote me a check, $175, put it in the bank, went home. So it was really a 15-minute errand for $175.
I know we talked a lot about New York, but there are people doing this all across the country.
Oh, yeah. So I have students, Chicago, New York, Florida, LA, Houston, Dallas. Yeah, I got students in about 15, 20 different states.
That you're aware of.
That I'm aware of. Yeah, I'm aware of.
That's the thing, too. They could be everywhere and they just don't let you know.
Yeah. Because sometimes people pop in like, hey, it's been a while, but I made $2K.
Yeah. Like, where were you?
Yeah, some people are not like chat people, like digital people. They'll just take the information and go. So I do check-ins. I'm like, checking in, how you doing? Yeah, I've been busy with life. I got email. Oh, one girl emailed me. She's like, yeah, I was actually pregnant. I didn't tell you, but I was pregnant when I joined the Survey Plug and I needed this for extra money. So, and I made $3,700 in the first 8 months, and that really helped me. I'm like, don't do that.
That's nuts, man. You out here changing lives,
Yeah,
yo.
and then one girl said, she had a death in the family in Chile. She had an extra $700 to spare. Again, remember we talking about the emergency funds and stuff that comes up. She had that extra $700 to fly to Chile to take care of her family. So,
that's important.
Again, like stuff be popping up in life. So it's always good to have an
Life
extra.
be lifing.
Life be life, and life don't never stop life, and that's the thing too. So
and so now, do you consider yourselves as a big word entrepreneur? As an entrepreneur,
I consider myself as. Yeah, I am an entrepreneur. Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I've filed taxes twice. I'm definitely an entrepreneur. Once you get hit with that tax bill twice,
you
the
have
taxes
to.
is what
Once you
made
start-
you decide that.
you ain't an entrepreneur till you start complaining about business taxes. When the math don't never math. That's when you know I did it twice, so I know I'm an entrepreneur.
So you mentioned one of the biggest lessons you learned about taxes was you get taxed on surveys. So what are some of the other bigger lessons you learned as you've gone throughout this journey? Because you've been technically the survey plug for how many years now? 2, 3?
Started November 2022.
2022?
So like a year.
Year and a half.
Year and a half.
Yep.
What's one of the other bigger lessons you learned about entrepreneurship? And would you recommend this for everyone? Me and Janelle will go back and forth on this. Should everyone be an entrepreneur? Let's go there. That's the question.
Oh, should everyone be an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were starting with surveys. Entrepreneur? I want to say yeah, but I don't want to be redundant, but it goes back to the why.
Why?
I'm gonna
It
say
goes
no.
back to the
But
why.
you say your reason.
No, I don't think everybody should be an entrepreneur. As
Okay.
a matter of fact, I'm
You
call
changed
it.
it?
Yeah, I changed it. I
Okay.
changed
I
it.
love-
Now I'm thinking about it. I don't think everybody should be an entrepreneur. I don't think everybody should be an entrepreneur.
This is why you created Survey Plug, because everybody doesn't have to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I think everybody should make money, some
Yeah.
type of money outside your job. But I don't think everybody needs to be an entrepreneur. I think that's the difference for me. Not saying don't make your money, but you don't always have to have a business.
Entrepreneur, because entrepreneur is like, you got to run the business from A to Z, from start to ground up. That's not for everybody. I'm going to be
Right.
100%. That's not for everybody.
Did you ever think it was for you?
No, I've never thought it was for me. I don't even know how I got here. I was just texting Anthony. He just told me to get a Stripe account, and I was on Zoom telling people I can make you survey.
But you
money.
made it work, right?
I did. But it's just like,
Now that you're in it, you're like,
no. I like it because it's like, it's a whole different world for me. So like I guess the course creator community, like I'm like following people. I'm like, people teaching all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
like I follow your tweets. You like, oh, you learned something from a nanny. I think you said there's a course on nannies.
A
A
doula.
doula.
I'm like following you guys and David Shands and the hot seat. I'm like, yo, people teaching all kind of stuff. So you can literally start a business for anything with anything. So I think me being exposed to that kind of helps me because I'm like, all right, like people teaching all kinds of shit. Like as long as I get people results, like I'm huge on results. That's another thing too. Like I definitely feel like any course you purchase or anything you join should be based on what they've done for other people. There's a lot of people out here saying, you know, I'm this guru, I did this, then that. Like, I want to see the receipts. Like, show me those testimonies. Like, if you're so good at what you're doing, show me what you, like, I can show you screenshots, 10,000, 8,000, 5,000. Like, I could.
Let me see. Show me.
Sure.
And I'm only saying that because we on camera.
No,
I
for
wouldn't
sure.
normally ask for this. So, I mean, that's also important too because going back to what you said earlier was that you were already doing this before there was a curriculum for it. Like you said, you were doing this with your mom. Like this goes back beyond Seth here on his podcast or the Survey Plug or even back in Albany. You were doing this back home with your family. Yeah. And surveys aren't anything brand new under the sun.
They've been around forever.
Right. They've been around forever. So you're teaching somebody a skill set that is going to always be needed, but then also it's always been needed in the past as well.
Right.
So you're continuously doing this and showing people what you've done and helped others do.
And I think what also helps is that people have heard of it. So it's new, completely new to some people, but some people have at least like heard of
I knew
it.
somebody that did it.
Yeah. It's always that one guy. I did a survey back in my day.
I'm like, yo, you ever heard of paid surveys? They're like, nah, but I did like a focus group. I'm like, yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So I'm like, yeah, and they're like, oh, but I didn't know you can make money like that.
And so would you ever do this business full time? Not the survey part of it,
That's the
but
goal.
paid survey for your businesses to
that's
do
the
it full
goal.
time.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Okay.
Again, that's the goal. Like my personal goal was to operate business full time and just live on my own time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I was posting those videos like, y'all. Like, I'm trying to post those videos like, y'all, like,
and which
VA doing my job, Alani's sleep.
Which
y'all
brings
need to
up,
do better.
We don't say that. Y'all need to do better. Definitely
the
don't
thing
say
is,
that.
that's how you
people take
feel.
it, though. Yeah, that's how you feel.
when we're
That's
posting.
nothing we ever say.
Okay, I'm gonna say
Let's
this,
say
and
that,
I'm gonna
though.
go
Let's
out
be
on this
clear.
horse.
Go ahead.
People only take offense to stuff like
When
that when
they-
they don't got their stuff together.
Oh, that's a ball.
I'm gonna go out on that.
They'd be like, "Oh, you're
People only take offense to
showcasing,
bragging
you're
when they
doing
don't
it,
got
bragging."
their
That's the
stuff
word.
together.
Yeah,
That's it.
because we never say like
People
you should be
only
doing
take
more.
Yeah.
But maybe you should be.
No.
Which brings me to another point of, how are you spending your money now? Now that you have like a 9 to 5 and a little, you get a little bit of money on the side.
So you got the 9 to 5, you got the survey plug, but then you also got the
Do
paid surveys
surveys.
as well.
Yeah.
How
I
you
saw you in the
spending
club
money
one
now?
day. What you doing in the club, bro?
I gotta
Oh,
promote
you
my
had said
business.
no. You said something like,
Yeah.
Seth's getting bottles. I said, well, it says survey plug on the side.
Now it's marketing expense. Go to my CPA and let them know that's marketing expense. They're like, boy, you don't put that shit in your personal.
No, but it's funny because somebody saw that in the club and was like, no, I was in the club and I saw that. And then my homegirl started telling me about it because she's in the program. And that's what made me buy.
But how are
Maybe-
you spending your money now? Is it different?
Nah, it's not different because it's like I still go to work. I'm not in a place where
Yeah.
I'm not working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I still
But
go
even
to-
if you're still working, because I still work a 9 to 5.
Right.
He's not at his 9 to 5, but you still spend a little differently because you have a bit more.
Yeah. But it's just like, as business owners, we could talk about it, some days sales is up, some days sales is down. Like
some months is,
I might have a good month and then next month it might be rainy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you still got to pay for
everything else.
upkeep and everything else. So it's
Yeah.
like, it's lit till it's not.
Yeah.
And it's not lit till it's lit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
It's the waves.
yeah. So it's, and again, and that's again, I'll say, I don't think business is for everybody. It's not. The
Now
more
you-
that I'm having
now
this
you thinking-
conversation, I'm like, it's not for everybody.
You think it's important that you keep your 9 to 5 while you run this?
Oh, 1,000%.
There we go.
1,000%. 1,000%. That is the key
to you being able to run
wealth. Start a business and keep your job.
it. Mm-hmm.
If you've seen it on the internet, it's 1,000% true.
Mm-hmm.
Start a business and keep your job.
Mm-hmm.
Fund your business from your 9 to 5 until your 9 to 5 is
Fun in the business.
right. Yeah,
Back and forth.
until
Hey,
the
You reach to a
businesses-
point.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And businesses change, models change, like
The world
everything
changed.
The world changes. So it's like, you have good months and you have slow months. So it's like, that's another reason that, you got to be mentally, like, again, that
Able.
why is just
Mhm.
like, that why will really keep you focused. Like, yo, like, I got to keep my lights on. Yo, I got to
Yeah.
make extra money for this. Or some people have joined just to, like, pay off certain things. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, your students are making $500 a month. I know math. That's at least $6,000 a year. Yo, I got a 4K credit card I'm trying to pay off. I'm gonna just use that to pay off my credit card. Okay,
Mhm.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like the why is just so important. Especially, it's more important in entrepreneurship because
Mm-hmm.
people say stuff, people do things, sales, whatever.
It's
whatever.
not
Like,
easy.
it's not easy.
It's not
You
easy.
be ready to tap out
Like that.
like that.
The thing
And
about surveys is you don't have to tap out. You do them, you take a break, you come back.
that's
Mhm.
the thing too. So with surveys, it's like you could pick it up and put it back down. So it's like, yo, like I got busy, but now I'm gonna start doing surveys because I got some stuff coming up. So I got a quick 250, got a quick 400. You know what I'm saying?
How much time do you recommend someone putting in the surveys based on a couple $100s a month?
Less than an hour a day. An hour is absolute max.
So if
I
you could
teach
put
my
in,
students a formula that is 30 to 45 minutes.
okay,
I don't less than that. More than an hour is just like you just trying to like go
Grind.
crazy. But, which is fine too.
Which
If you
is
got
fine.
the time for that,
Mhm.
Some people I've had like take time off and they like, yo, I got time off. I got these 2 weeks off for I'm a teacher. 2 weeks I'm
Mhm.
gonna just apply to some
summers they go
service.
crazy.
Yeah. Quick 700, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, so it's easy to pick it up and put it back down because you always have that information and you always getting the emails. And once you
Mhm.
learn how to apply to them and you learn the websites to go, you always have that information. And I know it's gonna be around because I was doing them as a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Which you did actually mention before we go. You mentioned that about surveys with kids.
Oh yeah. So I've
So-
had students who also had their kids participate in surveys.
what
Again,
surveys can we give Alani right now,
Probably
bro?
too young.
Oh, she's too young.
No, they got parent surveys. They got parent surveys.
Parent
so like
surveys.
Oh,
Yeah.
surveys for parents. Okay.
parent, yeah,
Oh,
but
for
kid
parents, for
surveys
kids.
are more like if the kid can attend.
Do
and
Yeah,
something.
participate.
Yeah.
color or something.
Yeah.
Lonnie.
So-
They
but
gotta
they
be a
also
bit
have
more
surveys.
involved.
She's not coloring
where,
inside
like,
the
it might
lines
be
right
you
now.
guys.
She can't say if she liked the toy.
Yeah, Alani might be playing with a toy, and then you give your opinion on how
She
Alani
interactive?
engages with
Oh,
the toy, and
okay.
you get paid for that.
Listen, we already started a business for Alani, so we about to add surveys into that for her as well.
I sign
man.
up. I got her.
So appreciate my guy Survey Plug being here, Seth. Man, it's been a great conversation. Let the people know where they could find you, where they could tap in, and also if you could give our audience, you could hit them up with a little discount or something on
Oh,
the
yeah,
Survey
I got
Plug. We could talk about that.
Okay, so you can find me, The Survey Plug, traditionally spelt, on Instagram. You can also check out my website, thesurveyplug.com, where I'm offering 2 programs, a self-paced program where if you want to take the time to sign up on the website yourself and have group coaching every week, you can do that. Or I have a 72-hour program where I'll sign you up on all of the websites. You'll have a one-on-one coaching call with myself on how to apply and get selected for surveys, and you'll get my paid survey guide all in 72 hours so you can make money sooner than later.
Yeah, so.
Is there one question you wish we would have asked that we didn't? Anything that you need to make sure to share?
I don't know.
That's to put you on the spot question.
Yeah,
right there.
that is.
One thing you want to get off your chest.
That we didn't ask. Or is important for the audience? Is this
I
not
don't
in
know.
this
Or leave
note?
him with a word of wisdom
Okay,
or something
that's
then.
fine.
So we'll go with that.
Listen, one income days are over. I'm going to just keep it real. One income days are over. You need a side hustle. I'm not even saying that because it's the survey plug. I'm saying because you need a side hustle. One income days are over. If you're not interested in starting a business, definitely start something that can create additional revenue for you.
Outside your job.
Definitely have something outside your 9 to 5 because as you see today, the 9 to 5 is not safe. I'm not making that up. Like
No, that-
people
everybody
get
knows
laid
that.
off, companies are closing, but like if you the boss and you the owner and you calling the shots, like as I was telling my friend the other day, don't wait for a raise, make one.
And on that note, don't wait for a raise, make one. That's a bar. Appreciate you guys being here on another episode of the More Than a Side Hustle podcast.
That's it for me. Make sure you keep joining, subscribing,
Oh,
and sharing.
one more thing. I'm sorry. 100 Harchimony at checkout to save $100 for the
there you
first
go.
20 people.
Let's go. First 20 people, $100 off the survey plug. Appreciate you coming through,
That'll
Seth.
be in the
man.
show notes and everything.
That'll be in the show notes. Peace.
Take care. Bye.